Hello, my name is Ashley Ball and I'm going to be talking to you about the concept of perception checking. Perception checking has been something that I've kept in my ability bucket over the past couple months and used immensely. It is something that is very important to me and I think everybody needs to learn how to use it. Perception checking is all about bringing yourself back to reality. Is your interpretation of what you see and how you are perceiving the situation actually what is really happening? If everybody could perception check, it would completely change the way that we could communicate. It would help cause so many better situations in the world. It would help people to not jump to conclusions. Jumping to conclusions always ruins relationships, and this is something that can help people immensely in their lives. There are 3 elements of perception checking. The first one is description of the behavior. What were they saying? What words did they use? How were they acting when they said it? The second one is to offer at least 2 possible interpretations for yourself. For example, if you haven't talked to your friend in a week, you can think to yourself, maybe my friend is going through a very hard time and that's why she's not talking to me. Maybe my friend's phone broke and she's very busy and hasn't been able to get a new one and has no way of contacting me. These are 2 separate communication points in your head that you can think to communicate to your person that you are having this issue with. They are 2 different interpretations. Instead of jumping to a conclusion that she's ignoring you and doesn't want to be your friend anymore and freaking out on her and causing a problem that didn't need to be caused in the first place because most likely you are completely wrong. The third is to request for clarification. What do you mean that's what you said, for example? What do you mean that you're sad? What do you mean you don't want to hang out with me right now? Why? Ask them what they mean, because if you understand what they mean, then you can understand that they are not trying to hurt you or cause damage to you, and that perception checking can completely change this reality for you, and it can show you that you're not actually thinking the correct answer. Perception checking brings you back to reality, like I said in the past, and it makes you know that your thoughts aren't always correct and that you need to know where someone else is coming from first before you just assume, and that is why you need to use these 3 steps for your clarification to understand. I've been using perception checking a lot in my relationships in my life. It's something that I always need to use because I always jump to conclusion. If somebody is quick to react to me in a way that I don't like, or they use a tone I don't like, or they act a certain way towards me, it completely affects the way I feel, and it makes me think that they don't like me anymore. They don't want to be my friend. But in reality, they could be having a bad day. They could have just woken up. They could have not even known that they used that tone towards me. One example is that I use it in my relationship with my boyfriend. Him and I are from different countries. He's from Mexico and I'm from America. And sometimes we have a very hard time communicating. Sometimes he says things that are very blunt and forward, and he doesn't understand that that's very rude and that you can't say that. So I have to take a step back. I have to clarify with him, and what do you mean when you say that? Why are you saying that to me? Why are you acting that way towards me? Why did you use those words? And then he can clarify back, well, this is what I actually meant. I'm sorry, that's not how I meant to say it to you. I'm sorry it came across that way. And instead of me interpreting it that he's attacking me, I perception check, I ask him these questions to clarify, and then we have a conversation, and it completely avoids a fight between us. A second event in my life that I've been using perception checking in is with my roommate. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't want to be around me. Sometimes I feel like she avoids me. Sometimes I feel like I'm the problem. But this isn't true. All I needed to do was check in with her, communicate with her, ask her, listen to the way she speaks to me, her tone. And it's completely changed the way that I feel. I now understand why she sometimes doesn't want to talk to me in the morning, because she's not a morning person. Why sometimes she doesn't want to be around me, because she likes being alone and doing her own thing. This has helped me understand that she acts certain ways because that is how she is. And I perception checked and understood that I'm not the problem and that there's nothing against me or no ill will towards me. In addition, a third example that I've used this concept in my life is with outside friends. Sometimes I feel like no one likes me. Sometimes I feel like no one wants to be around me. Sometimes I feel like I'm an outsider and I'm a loner. I don't know why I feel this way, but sometimes I just do. When my friends don't invite me places, my feelings get very hurt. I used to lash out and freak out and text them very irrational things and not understand why I would do it. But now, since I've been using perception checking, I think of my two scenarios of interpretations, I calm down, and then I text and I clarify, and I use my 3 steps. By clarifying, why didn't you text me when you were down the street from my house? Instead of saying, you're so rude for not texting me, you're right by my house and you didn't hang out with me, she can respond, oh, I was with my boyfriend and we were out to dinner. Or, oh, I was hanging out with a friend I haven't seen in a long time. But if I attack her, then she's going to respond and say, I don't know why you're attacking me. This is ridiculous. I don't want to be around you. By perception checking and texting her and clarifying why she didn't want to hang out with me, it completely changes the course of action, and her and I are able to have a healthy relationship and communicate effectively. Perception checking is very important, and I believe this is a skill that everybody should use in their life. Thank you. Have a great day.